Coming up in this video, aggravating an old back injury lands us in Croatia's 4th largest city. And it turns out we like the place, so we decide to stay a while.
Hello, we are Ben and Rebecca, a couple of dreamers from Alaska. And this is Denny, an adventure-ready 4x4 camper van. But the real star of the show is Lucy, our adorable rescue puppy from Mexico. We have shipped Denny across the Atlantic to start a new life in Europe. Welcome to our series of videos from the Republic of Croatia as we explore this beautiful land and learn about its fascinating past.
My back went out. It's not a new problem. It's an old problem. Last time it went out was almost a year ago in the Eastern Sierra. So what happened, and it happened last time, this compartment down here on this side of the dinette, I was reaching into it, which means my feet go this direction. My body has to twist this direction to get into the compartment. And it happened doing the same exact thing in the Eastern Sierra. So I just need to exercise extreme caution, and maybe when I get into this compartment, approach it from a different angle. The solution, time and time again when this happens, is to get my ass to a swimming pool. Are you ready for a drive in the wind?
I hate to say it, but I'm becoming one of those people that I only like to drive in ideal conditions, so this is not something I'm really looking forward to.
I'm starting to feel the same way. It's more like I would rather just sit and wait weather out. Whatever the weather is, just, we'll ride it out. But real life doesn't always do that to you.
Well, most of the time we have the luxury of deciding to just wait weather out. But occasionally life throws you a curveball and you don't really have a choice.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, this is the second person that we have seen while we're here.
Not accelerating at all so that I don't hit things too hard for you.
Can I make an observation?
What? Go to first gear?
Yeah, just stop it completely and go to first. Because that way it doesn't kind of give you that surge.
Okay. It's crazy because last night, when I took Lucy out for the last time, it was so dead calm that if you didn't know that was an ocean, you'd have thought it was a lake. It was like glass. And now,
it's angry.
It is a mad ocean. Well, sea.
She's very good at watching the road.
She is.
Like, don't bother me. I'm working, people. Does first gear feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nearly as jerky.
Before actually getting behind the wheel of Denny, one assumes it will be a monster to drive on these tiny roads. In reality, our trusty steed is nimble and maneuverable, so you're left with only worrying about low underpasses, balconies jutting out over the streets, hitting the mirrors on signs, and, well, you get the idea. Truly though, Denny's chassis is an ideal choice for these driving scenarios.
Until today, we had no particular direction to go in Croatia. Generally speaking, we were heading south, but other than that, we literally had nothing planned. That was until now. There really couldn't have been a better place for my back to go out, because we were only an hour away from Croatia's 4th largest city, Zadar, where there's an indoor swimming pool, and through nothing short of luck, we even found a homestay on Park for night, 10 minutes walk away from the pool. Okay, we have found our place. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. I guess I will bring this mirror in. Okay. Our host is looking very kind and helpful. Hello.
Hello. Excuse me, my English is not so good. We try to understand each other.
Your English is amazing compared to my Croatian.
Go left, please.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm working on.
Maybe come another car, you know.
Yes.
He parks here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you.
The boss is checking things out. making sure we're doing it correctly. Is Mama doing it good, Luce? I think Mama's doing a great job.
Wow, you ought to see how well I got the tires lined up.
Really? Okay, we're here, Luce.
I just did great things for female American drivers.
Okay, here is our campsite. You kind of come down his driveway and it's behind his house. He's got some projects going there, but it's a nice little grassy area and room for one and definitely two. And maybe over here, you could get another 1 or 2 vehicles parked, but this is amazing. And isn't Vito like the most welcoming host you could ever imagine?
It was awesome. Like, he helped us get back in here and then
Gave us all kinds of helpful tips.
yeah, toured us around the property.
There's
so we
pizza
know
100
everything
meters
is.
away and a bakery and
Gave us a map with a whole like welcome packet from the tourist industry
the
here.
city center is only like a 20-minute walk.
And there's a bakery, a pizza, and a grocery store.
It's all
within,
right
like,
here.
100 to 400 meters away.
This is perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, another thing that's helpful when my back acts up is the adage of walk it off. So since it's a 10-minute walk to the pool, I'm gonna hobble my way down there.
Well, as you can tell, number one, he walks very slow, like an old man. And number two, he starts to take the shape of a question mark or an S. Hopefully, because we're getting on top of this quickly, will be short-lived. But he's been dealing with this since he was like 28 years old when he fell down some stairs.
This is seriously what the doctor ordered. It has been nice. Just literally everything just stretches out once you get into the water. This sports complex, it is amazing here. There's an ice rink. There's courts for about every sport you could imagine that would need a court. There's fields for about every sport that you would imagine needing a field. There's physical therapy places, anything you could imagine sports related, it is here. And it's all like 10 minutes away from our little campground. So this is gonna work out perfect for us. Thank you for the help.
You're welcome.
Little things like this are so gentle, please, ouch. So much more complicated. And you take them for granted till you can't do them anymore. The star of the show demanded we plug her YouTube channel and social media. Since we're doing shameless plugs, did you know we have another channel? Check it out for life's most memorable moments.
As they tend to do, days turned into weeks in Zadar. And it turned out we kind of liked Vito's place. Thankfully, Ben's back was on the mend. Other guests came and went, but all of our needs were being met, so we stayed. We had internet, water, laundry, a toilet dump, electricity for cloudy days, a safe place to park the truck. Anything and everything was within walking distance. Plus, it all came at a fair price. We're in this for the long haul, and a stable place to call home is really nice every now and then.
I'm back. Yes, my back is back. I'm not 100% of normal, but I say I'm a solid 80%. I wiped my butt with my right hand today, so that says a lot right there.
I'm glad we shared that with everybody.
You know, anybody who has back pain can actually relate, and I think they would find it good to know that they're not the only person that can't do certain things when they're injured.
Okay.
But that swimming pool, best medicine ever. A couple days ago, just as I started to feel better, Rebecca came down with a case of, it wouldn't be called Montezuma's Revenge here, but food poisoning.
Mm-hmm. Not from the place we're going to take you tonight.
No. We have found an awesome restaurant. I'm not going to lie and act like, oh, we're walking in for the first time ever. But it's so good that we went off camera and now we have to bring you guys because it was that great of an experience.
Ben forgot to mention another important event that took place in our house tonight. I cut off 12 inches of hair. I feel like a new person.
Fresh looks for fresh adventures, huh?
That's right.
All right, I'm hungry.
I'm starving.
And I kind of want some wine.
For sure.
Well, right off the bat, there's a couple really nice things about this restaurant. It's within walking distance. Literally like 5 minutes walk up the hill. And it's not even that steep of a hill. The other nice thing is that it's kind of like hidden in this neighborhood, and it's a locals only gem, which means the prices are great and the food is a lot more authentic. Lucy loves going for walks as well.
We momentarily forgot where we were, Europe, and came for dinner at 7 p.m., which is too early as the main course was still cooking. Zvona takes reservations for their private dining rooms, or you can also eat in the bar.
How do you say cheers in Croatian?
I don't know.
I might have to overlay that as text. So another interesting thing is we're in a part of the world where wine costs less than water. Riddle me that, but I think it's a good thing.
Can I give you some soup from us? Chicken soup, do you like?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to butcher the name, I guarantee it, but we're going to have some chicken soup, and he called it bleska. And it is a domestic chicken, and they made the soup from scratch. Everything here at this restaurant is homemade, in-house. And when I hear him talking to the cook, he calls her mom. And his dad owned this restaurant before him, and his grandfather started this restaurant, so it's third generation. They make everything homemade in-house. It's a really special place to have a meal.
You really do get the feeling like you're being invited into somebody's home and sharing a meal with them. Yeah, it's definitely chicken soup. Great flavor. Second course has arrived. It's not necessarily a course, but Zvona is just bringing out stuff for us to try, and this is prosciutto. That's good prosciutto, honey.
Next course is a rice dish, and it looks like it has some meat in it as well. So, and a little Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top. So it's kind of like a stew flavor, but it has rice in it. It's very good. Very like comfort food, cold winter night. Yummy.
A very simple green leaf salad, and I'm guessing olive oil and vinegar. Svona's gonna let us go into the smokehouse here. I love the smell of this room. Wow. That looks spectacular. This cooking method is called peka, referencing the dome-shaped lid. It's easy to see how it lends itself well to slow roasting meats and vegetables while infusing them with smoky flavors. Peka can also be used to reference the meal, so it seems to be a versatile word like barbecue. Your dad taught you all this?
Yeah, I've been half an hour on this side.
What kind of wood do you guys use for smoking?
The crust, I would say, this is the crust, yeah. Crust and buka. This one is better. It's from this area.
Uh-huh.
It's better for this, I would say, to keep this.
The coals?
With coals, yeah. Yes,
Okay.
this crust.
It burns hot.
Yes. It burns hot and have lots of calorie.
Yeah.
And it's from this area. This is the crust from the stove.
Wow.
So it's
Okay.
better. It doesn't have lots of water inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. That's like a sauna in there. That was so cool, but it was not cool at all.
You look really hot.
It was so hot. But it was so unique the way they do it. It was awesome.
Tell us all about it.
We came to dinner like an hour and a half too early. Us Americans, we eat early.
We do. We came late the other night, though.
That dinner the other night was fabulous as well, with the pork and the sausages.
We can
But-
show some pictures of what we had the other
And
night.
we're showing them right now. My face looks kind of red in the screen. But Zvona just delivered some of that chicken that we saw in the smokehouse, and throughout the process has given us 3 or maybe 4 of these.
That one's only
Okay, that's a quarter, but we have had plenty of house red. But he's brought us out some of that food that you just saw cooking on that amazing device in there.
Wow, that is so flavorful and tender and yummy, and the seasoning is diffused throughout the meat, and it still has the skin on it, so you're gonna love it. It's so good.
Now time for the potatoes.
It's very good.
Oh, a fresh loaf of bread.
We're not going home, so they just keep feeding us.
I think this bread actually will come in handy to soak up all that wine. Well, Rebecca went for the dark meat. I'm going to try the white meat. This is great. This right here is what traveling the world is all about. Right here. Food, flavors, culture, family. All right here just in this one meal.
The food keeps coming, and I think maybe this is a dessert, but we know it's from the cheese, and it's the next thing that came out to us. Zavono's taking care of us, I know that. Oh, wow.
Is it dessert or is it savory?
It's like souffle.
Yeah. Like I taste eggs.
Yeah, but then there's like a sweet flavor, kind of like what you taste in a pastry croissant kind of thing, right?
I feel so blessed to be trying all these new things.
It's been a fun night.
Yes, it has.
Here we
Lucy's
go.
ready.
Lucy's ready.
Thank you for the wonderful experience. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you. I can tell in the screen that you can't see my face right now, but you can also trust that in the video description, we will put the name of Vito's place where we're staying and the name of this restaurant that is right up the street. Have a good night, but this video is not over.
We always like to thank our Outliers community for supporting production of these videos. You guys are the best. Click join on our YouTube channel for early releases, exclusive content, increased engagement, and so much more.
Good morning. We're off on another adventure. This one's a little bit more of a logistical one, but Lucy needs to get her EU pet passport. And given the cost of everything here in Croatia, it's the perfect place to do that. And we're walking because my back feels a hell of a lot better. And it's only maybe like 1.2 miles away. It's great.
I called and spoke with, I think you're lecturing this morning about getting a European Union passport for Lucia.
See ya. Sit. Good girl.
How come that she has a microchip?
We got it in advance to get into the EU.
Yeah. When we got the paperwork done in the United States for her to come here, it was required she have a 15-digit microchip.
Do you have that paperwork?
Oh yes.
All
yes.
of it.
So I will just apply that number inside. It will be with my stamp or however.
Okay.
You can pass the border.
Okay.
You're in European Union.
All right, Lucy now has an EU pet passport. It was honestly very simple. All of our paperwork was in order. They basically wanted to see proof of her microchip, and so they got the number and they waved a wand, made sure she had it, gave us the EU pet passport. We also got her some more flea, tick, and heartworm medicine. It's the same stuff that they put her on in Mexico, so I like that because we know she's tolerating it. And the only thing was they had the next size up, so we had to cut the pills in half.
Oh, there's a kitty.
But that actually made it cheaper.
Hi, kitty. Hello, kitty.
And he said a lot of people actually buy the next size up. That's why he carries it. And then they cut it in half because it's per pill the same price as the smaller ones, and you get twice the number of pills. So she's all set for a year's supply with her medicine, and she has a pet passport, so now she can come and go out of the EU, no paperwork necessary.
So Lucy has her papers.
Lucy has her
There's
papers.
another kitty.
There's lots of kitties.
Yeah,
here.
and another kitty. Wow.
Being really good around the kitties. Zadar is located on the northern Dalmatian coast of Croatia. Human life here goes back to the late Stone Age, but in more recent times, Zadar has changed hands. A lot. Starting with the Romans, then there was the Byzantine Empire, with a brief period of Frankish rule in the middle. The Hungarians have held Zadar at various times, and the Ottoman Empire liked the place as well. After the fall of the Venetian Empire, the Austrians and French both took their turn at residency here too. In the early 20th century, Italy was a little larger than it is now, and Zadar was bombed by allies in World War II. For the second half of the 20th century, the Yugoslavs controlled this region of the Balkan Peninsula. And as weather goes, Zadar has relatively mild winters, but it's by no means a warm place to spend winter in a van.
I think we found it. This is definitely the place. That looks promising. Got like a butcher stand. Okay, we are picking up some honey. Wow. Those look like blackberries.
1 kilo.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. These smell amazing.
All right, so is this the place where we're eating lunch?
They have comfortable looking chairs and the pictures of food look good, so let's do it.
They even turned the heat lamps on for us. Their menu is very nice and helpful, and also kind of designed for a tourist district because the first line is local Croatian, then you have UK English, German, Italian, and French translations.
We say it often, but flavors are the best part of traveling, even if they come from a restaurant in the tourist district. Thankfully, the caprese salad, lasagna, and calamari were all very satisfying on a cool day.
After a meal like that, I could really use a nap. But we still need to go to the farmer's market and look in that little seafood section.
We do.
Yep. Travel can be exhausting at times.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking wine in the noon hour can also have a little bit of an influence as well. But life is good here in Croatia. I think we made a grave mistake going to get lunch because the farmer's market is closed, and this is where all the seafood vendors are that I so wanted to see.
Aside from missing the fish market, that was a productive trip to town. By now, I hope you are seeing why we enjoyed staying in Zadar.
Is Lucy ready? Okay, vamos, mija. Okay, it is the end of 2021. We're here in Zadar, Croatia. I think it's safe to say that they like their fireworks here. I have never seen a residential fireworks display like this anywhere. This is one of the more unique New Year's Eves we have had. It's been nothing special, you know. We've just been watching Netflix all evening and I kind of already dozed off, but wow. Happy New Year. Did you hear the fireworks?
What?
Yeah?
I've spent New Year's in a lot of places. I have never ever heard anything like this before.
This is intense for just neighborhood stuff.
And it's not stopping. I mean, we're going on like 30 minutes now. It's okay. We have a puppy getting a little anxious now.
All right. Well, we've made it back to the fish market, and boy, do I miss that all too familiar smell of fresh fish. I love traveling, but part of me really misses being a fishing guide in Alaska. Choosing what to buy here was a bit overwhelming because I'm completely unfamiliar with most of the species of fish. We opted for a fish they called sea bass, which in my experience means absolutely nothing because everywhere on the planet seems to have a fish they call sea bass. But one thing all sea bass tend to have in common is that they taste good. In many parts of the world, they cook the fish whole, and Croatia is no different. But since we're in the camper, the proprietor was nice enough to fillet the fish for us. This is when things got interesting. They charged us 250 kuna for the fish and cleaning. That's about 37 US dollars, which not only seems like a lot of money for one fish, it is a lot of money for one fish. In the moment, we were caught off guard since the fish had already been cleaned, so we paid and went on our merry way, chalking it up to one of the many lessons we will learn in this new chapter of life.
This is our haul today from the farmer's market. Got some green leafy lettuce, a cucumber, what we think is some form of Swiss chard to make some smoothies, figs, and he told me these are local figs, and then he showed me industrial ones. He said these are local from Zadar. Oranges, bananas. We bought some of these last week, but they gave us a little sample. These are kumquat. And they are the guy that, like, they're from his own trees. Some honey, some kiwis, some carrots, and some apples. So, yummy, delicious, very fresh produce.
Upon returning home, we asked for Vito's input, and he was shocked. So shocked, they insisted we return to the market, where he told me to stand in a corner while he got us 100 kuna back. What a nice guy.
Ready? Oh, almost wiggling. You're so excited, huh?
Lucy loves her carrots.
And Mama gave her a banana while you were gone, so she
Yep.
had all her fruits and veggies today.
Okay, this may not be the traditional way that they cook fish in Croatia, but it's the way we're doing it because we just plain old don't have a device to cook the fish as one whole body. So, got the fillet, cut them in half so they all fit in the skillet, and I'm using the seasoning that our friend Meredith got us a while back. It's called Harissa Seasoning North African Heat. And the ingredients are paprika, caraway, chili pepper, cayenne pepper, coriander, cumin, garlic, peppermint, and sea salt. This should be tasty.
Also got a fruit salad going from what we brought home from the farmer's market today. So bananas, apples, kiwis on the bottom. There's an orange in there. And then some of those kumquats I was telling you about.
Well, one of the tricks when cooking fish with the skin on is to cook the meat side first and then flip it over. And I'm doing this very gingerly. Oh, that didn't quite turn out. There we go. It turned the corner. And then skin side down. Now this fillet has been scaled, but those are looking mighty good. Don't screw this one up. All right, hold it off. And another crucial part when cooking fish is don't overcook it. It does not take long to cook fish, so I'm only gonna leave it here doing the skin side for a few minutes. We're also gonna serve it with this really tasty bread from the local bakery. Taste test.
It's really good fish.
Okay, good seasoning?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That is good and good seasoning. Thanks, Meredith. You know, they say you're safe in a car, but something doesn't sound too nice about being in a metal box. But I know you're grounded by the tires, but... I think she's actually enthralled by the flashing lights versus the thunder. I don't necessarily think it's fear
She doesn't know what it is, but I don't think she's afraid per se. Like, I'm feeling her heart and it's relatively normal. It's not like pounding out of her chest.
It's like a chasing reflections type of response out of her. That one's close. We have had the privilege of meeting some fellow YouTubers. We have Martin and Chloe here from France. Tell us about your channel.
We'll introduce you Mani, our wonderful truck. We are doing an European road trip this year. And this is my birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So Chloe cooked this amazing cake.
It's a galette frangipane. It's a typical French cake with almond and pasta.
Wow. I look forward to trying it.
And we miss this cake in this period in France. Everybody eats this every day.
Bon appétit.
Oh, bon appétit. Supposedly there's something special inside here. So if you get it, you are the winner?
Yeah, you're the king,
the
or
king
the
or the queen.
The king or the queen, okay.
The galette des rois.
It's a good cake. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for.
Oh, so you're not the king.
Nope.
I am not the king.
Bad.
She's not the queen.
I think. Sorry.
Delicious. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming.
Our pleasure.
Happy birthday. It has been wonderful getting to meet you guys, so
Tell them the channel.
Because my English is not amazing.
I can help.
Homebird journey.
Homebird Journey. HOMEBIRD Journey. So make sure you give Martin and Chloe a subscription. But we're on our way to the dog park now.
About 10 minutes away from Vito's is Lucy's favorite place in Zadar, the dog park. She knows exactly where we are going and is usually pretty wound up by the time we get there. Once inside, she really enjoys playing with the other dogs and loves being faster and more maneuverable than most of them as well. If we are by ourselves or there are not too many dogs, we will play a game of fetch.
Hi. Again?
If there's no other doggy distractions, time spent on the agility course is fun as well. Did you have fun, Lucia?
Oh, that's so
much fun.
Okay, it is time. We have been here in Zadar for 2 months.
60 days on
Yes, it has been a wonderful stay here at Vito's house. And yeah, it's just the way life goes. But you know what? I'm rolling out of here better than I rolled in here because my back is pretty much 95% better, which is just about as good as you can get when you got the miles on your chassis as I do. So we thought it'd be a good time to give you a little bit of a tour of how we have been existing here at Vito's house.
Very comfortably, I will say that.
Yes, and if Rebecca's a little blush, that's because we just had lunch with Vito and a whole bottle of wine, and
We're getting ready for Spain.
yes.
Let's cut out of the bag.
Well, you know, hey, we're all heading a direction, but that's going to be in a future video. So I spent the morning working out here because let's just say we got mighty settled in. So the back here was a bit of a mess, and we also stockpiled a ton of Lucy's dog food that we found here. So I'm gonna guess we probably have about 40 to 50 pounds of Lucy's dog food in various bags. So we got this one giant bag, and
20 kilos.
then up there we have other bags. We got a care package from Beck's mom. She sent us some Kraft mac and cheese. That's
Ben's favorite
it's just
food in the entire world.
but it's a loving thing. It's
That
just a
was-
little slice of home.
Ben requested macaroni and cheese and ranch dressing,
Yes,
please.
and it's hard to find ranch dressing
We got
here.
the powder kind so we can make
Yeah,
our own, and
exactly.
she sent us 2 containers of it. I think we have enough now for our entire time in Europe.
But we'll be able to like share that. You know, Molly Mish came
did.
over the other night, and they had some ranch dressing with them as well.
They
so
got it at a commissary.
yes,
somewhere
that's
over
just
here.
one of the tricks that we have heard
about.
people talk about it. So if you go to an American military base and go to the commissary, you can get all of your favorite American things there.
Salsas,
Yeah, Hernandez
dressings.
salsa. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a video in itself.
And Costco sounds fun too.
Yeah,
I'm
Costco in the
excited now
UK.
to do a Costco.
So I spent the morning getting this all back in order.
I spent the morning getting this all back in order. I'm not quite sure where this burst of energy came from, but let's just say I even scrubbed the crevices of the garbage can. I don't
Yeah.
think it's been this clean since we picked it up from Bed Bath & Beyond in Montana.
The camper is definitely looking really, really clean right now. Another thing that we got really settled in over here in the cab of the truck. Like, this became a storage and pantry place. So I got the camera bag out, but that'll get put away into its appropriate spot. This always bounces back and forth, but the truck is otherwise ready to roll.
One of the things we did learn about using this as the pantry, at least in the wintertime, is that we're on a continent where ice is a premium. You put your drinks up here and then you bring them back and they're cold. So it's like what are those places under the ground?
It's a root cellar.
called? A root cellar. It was handy dandy.
Lucy has also had a wonderful time here at Vito's in Zadar.
Very close to the dog park.
Totally close to the dog park. She loved it. She had a little eye infection, a little conjunctivitis about a week ago, and that has all cleared up, but the vet was wonderful.
She also got her EU passport here in Croatia.
Yep.
So she actually has an easier time in the EU now than we do. Like, for the rest of Lucy's life, she can come and go from the EU as she pleases.
Yeah, she doesn't have to follow Schengen rules.
No, she doesn't.
Little twerp, you're
I
lucky.
know, stinker.
Well, we thought it'd be nice to share a little bit of how we're able to hook up to the utilities, for say, here at Vito's house in Europe and Croatia. All right, right down here is a little box that we got off of Amazon US, and it converts 220 to 110 volt, or vice versa. And the plugs are different. So this is also where it gets a little tricky. This right here is a traditional European style plug. Got the little piece. That's what we are used to in the States. But here's the interesting part. If I plug in like so, I don't have a problem. But if I accidentally flip this around and plug in like so, and I plug the shore power cable into our camper, we get a reverse polarity warning. And you definitely do not want to switch on your AC power when you have a reverse polarity warning. So that also, because this is pretty much like an extension cord from his workshop over there, if he accidentally flips the cord end in his workshop around, that theoretically could pop a breaker of ours, or who even knows. But I do know that reverse polarity could cause horrible, horrible things. And it's one of the things that I just did not want to deal with. And we're actually quite nervous about even using this, because sometimes I or we have a way of bringing problems upon ourselves. And I thought that, hey, yeah, we're here long enough. We're eventually going to have to figure out if this works. And if it doesn't work and something breaks, we're at least at a place where we can get mail. So this is how we are getting electricity on this end. So then we will go over to the other end by the truck. So we got the little light on here at the end of our extension cord. This is where it plugs in. And even though I think I know I have it plugged in correctly over there, I plug it in here really quick, plug it in, and I go look. All right, that red reverse polarity on our breaker panel is off. And then I switch the AC breaker on. Okay, since this is our last day, I have had us charging. We started off and the bank was somewhere around 50%, but we are at 100% right now. So this I'm just gonna turn off for good measure and unplug. And just because of the risk of something popping and then maybe like a fire hazard, we never just leave it blanket plugged in all the time. It is always with intent and purpose. Once we reach that 100% mark, we disconnect. Okay, moving on to water. We don't have a traditional water hookup, so we have to fill our tank right here. Now the dilemma is we have the traditional American style hose, and our hose is not necessarily long enough because the water tap is all the way over here. Now, with these European water taps, it gets a little interesting because theoretically, if I did have enough hose, I could screw it onto there and it would be about 90% leak tight. There'd still be some water spitting out. But over here on this other end, make sure this is off. Really cool. I kind of like these quick releases, but this end is too big to fit into our tank on the truck. So what I have to do is, it's a little tedious, but obviously this end would go into the camper, and then I just hold this together. Obviously some water spits out, but it's about as good as we can do without having to move the truck all the way over here when it comes time to fill up. So that's how we get water. So one of these days, since we're in this for the long run, we're going to get a European style hose that we could hook up to that and just run it into here, but lop one end off so it fits into our truck. So next up, what goes in has to come out. So let's share how we're disposing of gray water. Okay, as a lot of you may know, if you've watched our channel for long enough or followed the truck, we don't have your traditional gray water pole gate like RVs. We just have this little hose with a valve sticking out. So for gray water, there's some in the tank. We just let it fill up and we will take it over to the place where we dump the toilet pee bottle. So yeah, we use such little volumes of water that this really isn't all that big of a deal. So another thing that's made Vito's place very sustainable is the fact that we've been able to do laundry here. So that is a future Airbnb suite up there. And he has added, while we were here, a washer and dryer to it. Now, once tourist season kind of happens here, because this is very much a summer destination, he's gonna add a washer and maybe dryer underneath the stairs over there. But also during the summer months, you wouldn't necessarily need a dryer because the clotheslines are over there as well. And I can only imagine during the heat of the summer that clothes would probably dry in a matter of a couple hours. But when it's a high of 45 degrees, it does take a while for clothes to dry. Okay, so we have addressed electricity going in, water going in, water coming out, dirty stuff, clean stuff. And now let's share where he has it set up for us to dispose of the pee bottle for our toilet and the gray water. So right over here is, I guess I would call it almost some type of a manhole cover, but you lift it off and you dump your contents into there, close it up, and then he's got a hose out here so you can rinse everything out. But yeah, this has been a wonderful asset, having a place to dump the toilet. Now the lunch we just shared with Vito was cooked on this. So we picked up some Irish beef from the grocery store today and he cooked it up, and I don't know, I'm really looking forward to when we do go home one day, just taking all of these food cooking techniques and making like this wickedly awesome outdoor cook station. But Yeah, we have had a wonderful time here at Vito's.
Well, I think that covers all the bases and shows you a little insight into how we've been surviving here at Vito's and in Croatia. We definitely will be back. You know, this is a region that we can come to for our Schengen shuffle. So this won't be the last time, and we'll look forward to heading further south in Croatia and the Balkans the next time we come. But we're excited to get back on the road and have some more adventures.
Coming up in our next video, after spending 2 months in Zadar, we are taking the road less traveled to explore the interior of Croatia.